Assalamualaikum. So, welcome to the interview. I'm Mr. Fahmi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm Miss Hannah.
Hello, Miss Hannah.
Sit down.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, can you tell me your names?
Alright.
Starting from you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Hannah. My name is Irfan Zahir.
My name is Ikhwan Syahputra.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Mr. Fahmi, Miss Hannah. So, my name is Mohammad Shahizani bin Mohammad Shahroni.
So, Mr. Adli, so can you tell me about yourself?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fahmi. So, as I mentioned, my name is Irfan. So, I am a fresh graduate from University Sultan Zainal Abidin. Before this, I'm having a diploma in TESOL, and then after that, I'm pursuing my study on a bachelor in English. And then after I'm graduate, I'm having a part-time job as an English teacher at a primary school near my home, and I have been a replacement teacher for almost 1 year. So that's all.
So, what about you, Mr. Ikhwan?
First, let me tell you about my education background. So, I had a diploma in TESOL from UNIZA for 2 years, and then I pursued my study in Bachelor English and Communication, also at UNIZA for 4 years. And then I had my internships at a local school back in Terengganu, where I interned for 2 months. And then I worked at Media Prima Berhad for 2 years, and now I'm just waiting for another job.
Okay. So, yeah, Mr. Shahizani.
Right, so I'm a fresh graduate from UiTM Shah Alam campus in the bachelor's degree of English for Intercultural Communication. So before this, I took my diploma in UNIZA, diploma in teaching English as a second language, TESOL. So before this, I did my intern with a non-government organization that helps to promote English to the various people of various races in Malaysia, and I continued working with them for a year after I graduated and after I finished my internship.
Okay, Mr. Ikhwan,
Yeah,
could you tell me about your strengths?
my strengths. The works that I try to apply for is surrounded by kids, where I teach the kids English. So my greatest strength in this area is that I am good with children. I can maintain a good relationship with children, where I can play with them, where I can teach them with the same interaction that they will have with their parents. So I think my good strength is that I'm good with kids. I have a good relationship, and I have a very rich personality and communication skills.
I see. What about you, Mr. Shahizani?
One of my biggest strengths is that I have a very good way of communicating with people, no matter whether they are from the same race as me, whether they are older than me. For example, during my internship years, while I was working with the non-government organization to help promote cultural awareness to the people of Malaysia, so me and my team, we worked together to create like our sort of campaign to spread awareness and to promote English speaking to the people of Malaysia. So after 3 weeks, we conducted a survey to test the respondents, the people who were involved with us, to check whether how well did they perform. Surprisingly, in the matter of 3 weeks, we managed to increase the overall awareness of people by a staggering 60%.
So, what about you, Mr. Adli?
Thank you, Fahmi. So I think in this English field, so the experience is the biggest teacher, right? So I've been going to be a replacement teacher almost 1 year. I have been teaching year 2 and year 3, and then I actually have a great experience with them. I know how to tackle their interest towards the English language. So I think that is the biggest strength that I have, experience. And as we all know, experience we cannot buy and we cannot learn anywhere. You need to earn it.
Okay.
Alright, so for Mr. Shahizani, why should we hire you?
Right. The reason that you should hire me because the overall numbers of English public speaking coaches in Malaysia isn't that much. But I strongly believe that I am qualified for this position because I have seen and I have proven during my internship years, and I can prove to you that I can teach the children to speak better in English and to have the confidence to speak in English, because as we all know, in Malaysia, English isn't our native language, so it's hard to build that confidence. But I believe with the experience and the skills that I gained during my internship years, I can break that wall and I can build their confidence.
Well, what about you, Mr. Adli?
Alright, thank you, Ms. Hannah. So I think why you should hire me because I have, as I mentioned, a great experience. But although besides experience, I have also a what we call slightly greater benefit than others, because I also acquire Arabic language, and besides that, I also a national athlete in sport. So besides English teacher, I also can be an Arabic teacher, and I also can be a sports teacher, a sport trainers in school, because nowadays, as we all know, teachers need to have the variety or extended capability to differentiate from me and then the other candidates. I think that's my opinion.
Mr. Irfan?
Okay, so as for me, I'm sure I have so many strengths that can contribute to this company. So when we talk about what's good, so I think I will benefit the company in so many ways. So many ways, like give them more profits, not only by teaching children that we can help them enhancing their English language, but also from for keeping up the profiting for the company itself, for the star source. Thank you.
So we have talked about your strength. So what about your weakness, Miss Adli?
My weakness. Sorry, but I'm not actually having any what we call major or main weakness. But I think the weakness that I have is I am what we call the eldest son in my family. So my parents are what we call living at my countryside, my village. So I actually need to what we call having a workplace that nearest to the my village. So I think that it would be a what we call a huge problem to company to actually locate me to the nearest place to my village. So I think that's my weakness.
Okay. So what about you, Mr. Shahizani?
Well, if we're talking about one of my weaknesses, I believe that one of my greatest weaknesses is that I tend to be overly meticulous. As for everything that I've done, including during my internship years, every step of the way, I have a rough outline which I follow to the letter, and I also have a checklist that I will complete by hook or by crook. But I believe I can overcome this by realigning my purpose with the position of English public coach, because it is something that you can't get results immediately. So I believe that my overly meticulous nature can be avoided for if you hire me for this position.
Okay. So Miss Ikhwan?
Okay, so as for me, I believe my weakness is what make me stronger. Because when I find out what I'm weak at, I'll try to improve myself. So for example, I am very critical about my work. I work a lot of faster when I'm under stress, but at the time it's not good for me. But at the same time, it's profiting the company because I do my work very hard, very carefully. But I think I can change this, because working under stress is just another hardship that I have to endure as in a working job experience, just simple experience.
So, Mr. Ikhwan,
Yeah.
what can you contribute to the company? Yeah.
So what I had in mind is, I think I will plan a lesson plan that can be used for not only me but other educators at startups, where the educators can use this lesson plan to teach children, which they can modify themselves, but it costs less time because they just have to modify the lesson planning, and it also give a huge profits to the company because it will cost less budget and it will give more high performance.
I see. So, Mr. Adli?
Alright, thank you, Miss Hannah. Okay, so actually, I think what I can contribute to the company is by having a increase the regulate name, because as far as I know, the agency that I've been applied for is a great agency in the country. So I'm actually the person that actions speak louder than words. So I am the person that prefer doing than saying. So I am actually humbly speaking that I am actually a very good fresh graduate teachers, or I have been receiving plenty of rewards from because only if I'm sorry, I'm just a ordinary fresh graduates. Just a replacement teacher, but and in just short amount of periods, just 4 months, I increase because I can increase the grade, students' grade from time to time. That short amount of periods. So I think if the company wants to hire me, is the greatest chance for me to work for you, and also a great choice from the company.
Mr. Shahizani?
Alright, thank you, Ms. Hannah. So what I can contribute to the company is that I believe in just 3 months, I can increase the overall achievements of the students, because during my internship years, I've managed to raise the cultural awareness of the Malaysian populace in each state by an average of 50%. This is including those who are in urban, suburban and rural areas. So I believe what I can contribute is that I can create a rough outline or a guideline for not only for me but also for the other English public speaking coaches that they can use for students who have mixed proficiencies and who have multiple intelligences, so that they can help this using this guideline. They can help to not only raise the cultural awareness of the students but also raise their English public speaking confidence. So I think that is what I can bring to the company, and I think that would save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and would actually benefit you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Syahzani. So I think this is the last question I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
So Mr. Ikhwan,
Yeah.
can you work under pressure?
Like I said before, my weakness is that I tend to work a lot harder under stress. But being under pressure will help my work more faster. But at the same time, I tend to be more careful, and also the work is done correctly. So under pressure is not a problem. It's just one of the challenge that I have to against. I have no problem about it.
So Mr. Adli, what about you?
For me, I think it's not a problem, because before this I have been a national athlete, so work under pressure is a normal thing that have been faces nowadays. So actually, when we work under pressure, I tend to be more focused, and I tend to try to avoid mistakes, because as we all know, diamond made by pressure. So I think when the pressure is come on, I think I will be more focused, and I will increase my quality of my work.
So Mr. Syahzani?
Alright, Mr. Fahmi, when you ask if I can work under pressure, I believe that I can, because one of my other strengths is that I can adapt and I can work in any kind of situation, any kind of environment, because my ability to adapt is what sets me apart from my peers. In this world where we are rapidly growing, I believe that my ability to adapt, no matter the circumstances, no matter the pressure, would actually benefit you.
Alright, this is for me. Okay, during you had internships, right?
Yes.
Or your part-time jobs.
Alright.
So, what was your biggest challenge that you have overcome, and how do you overcome it? So, I'll start with Mr. Shahizani.
Right, so one of my biggest challenges during my internship is that, as we all know, trying to raise cultural awareness in Malaysia isn't something that is easy. But I've managed to increase it by an average of 50% per state. So how I did this is that we live in a multiracial country. So whether you admit it or not, we know about each other cultures from the moment we were born, even as we grew up. So I relate the other races' culture to them, trying to use their past experiences, their everyday life. So by doing this, they see and then they can appreciate the other people's cultures, but at the same time they are aware that some things are sensitive to others and some things are normal to others.
Thank you.
Mr. Adli.
Alright, thank you, Miss Hannah. Okay, so when I having my teaching practicum in back years, so I figured out that the problem that the greatest challenge that I have to face is I need to teach a very low proficiency students. At first I feel very frustrated how I'm gonna teach the student, but after I seek for advice from senior teachers. Actually, if we know how to tackle them, how to tackle the interest, actually just simple. So I think that is the greatest challenge I have faced, because as we all know, as educator, we try to give our best and to fulfill our duty as an educator. Because, the children nowadays is a hope for our nation.
Irfan.
So I have my internship at a school, at a local school in Terengganu. So being in the school where the social background is very different from people in the urban area, they also have a very little to low proficiency, where also their family also don't learn English and don't use English at home. So what I do is that I tend to make the atmosphere in the class more about English, more about talking English, even though they have low proficiency, but at least talking a little bit in English that will help them to gain their interest in learning English, and then I will help them to higher their proficiency, I think.
So, Mr. Fahmi.
So I think that's all for the interview. So any further information, we'll inform you as soon as possible.
Okay.
So
Thank
thank
you.
Mr. Fahmi.